I don't have anything to teach. I've never taught anybody anything.
You've never taught me.
You taught me about love and life.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
And that's all that matters.
That's beautiful.
Are we go?
We're just fully going.
Yeah.
We're on mic. We're on camera.
We're on-
This
yeah,
is,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
then
This is how
take
we
that
do-
off the record.
Yeah.
I've never
don't want
learned a
people
fucking
knowing
thing
that.
from Mike. He's
No.
influenced me zero. If anything, he's taught me what not to be.
I guess that hey, I'm a cautionary tale. So that's
It's
So that's nice.
Teaching is all about guidance, and one way to guide someone is a way.
the boy who cried wolf style. I'm not crying wolf. I've never once in my life shouted wolf, 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 and that's
No.
because I was taught that nursery rhyme, and I said, "Do not."
That's not who I am.
I do it pretty often, I'll be honest with
Wolf,
you.
wolf.
Yeah. I go to the dog park, I start freaking out. I'm like, oh, the fucking wolves here. I can't handle it.
I can't handle. Please, someone protect me.
Just dogless.
Yeah.
Just there being
How'd
like,
you get in
that
here?"
one's not right.
That one is wrong. It's too big. He's in the small section, but we all know he's a little big.
Picking him up and bringing.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
biting
putting him
you.
over the fence.
Yeah.
His
But,
DNA is too pure.
Yeah, we could. Dude, I saw a dog recently though. I was like, "This is well." It was what is it? An Akita?
Oh.
Those
I
are
don't
like
know.
they're like
Sounds
big.
like a wolf.
They're big as fuck. Like they have like blue eyes, like a man does.
lovely.
I didn't like it, and very territorial.
Yeah.
And I was
okay.
like, I don't like this. This dog should not be in a city.
Huh.
This dog should be in like a big snowy field.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, I
Where
don't
were
like.
you?
So
Where was
I
it?
was dead right. That he's just
Yeah.
walking around going, "That's a wolf."
That's a
Yeah,
wolf.
yeah. That one is a wolf. I was hanging out at the dog park by myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to make friends. It's all of a sudden it's illegal to try to make friends in the city.
I do think it's illegal to go to the dog park, no dog. Do you know what I mean? I do think there's certain places where you need the price of entry is the person of interest.
Okay, yeah, like how it's wrong that I go to the playground.
Yeah.
With-
Sometimes also.
just to make friends there. They understand my
so
imagination.
talkative. Yeah, they get me. We see each other eye to eye.
We're on the same reading level. we like the same kind of books. I think it's really interesting. And I go, did you know that his real name isn't Encyclopedia Brown, but it's an interesting nickname because he's a smart little boy.
He's a smart
What's
little
his
boy.
real name?
Couldn't tell you.
Well, I
Clancy.
don't think I think if you're going to show up and be boggling the minds of children, you should have something new to tell them.
You should have the answer to the immediate question.
That no one asked you.
Yeah,
you post.
It's Antonio Encyclopedia Brown.
Antonio Encyclopedia
He's had a lot
Brown.
of head injuries, but it's fine. There is one. There's like over in Williamsburg, and for some reason I'm over there pretty often. But there is like a playground, but it's like a public park next to a school.
That's where they are, by the way.
Yeah,
Playgrounds are almost
that's
always
true.
on
Yeah.
public parks.
Yeah, but it's like there's nothing else going on in this park. It's like a concrete slab with some jungle gyms on it, but there is a bathroom in there, and every time I walk in there to use like the public restroom, I am like,
Sorry.
I'm like trying to, I don't know, I'm like, I don't want to run
Okay.
in past everyone so it looks weirder,
Okay.
but I also don't want to be like leisurely strolling through like parents and children and being like, I'm here to take a big piss.
Yeah, I think a normal walk.
Well, you don't have to even use an adjective.
I don't,
I think-
I don't have to tell them what size it is. Like what size the
I feel like big is the first red flag.
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah.
totally allowed to need to pee in a public place, but
yes.
like you don't need to start being like a big yellow fat piss.
I took a
filled
big
with-
nasty piss in there.
Stinky. You had to light a
guys.
match.
Yeah. So I shouldn't just start walking up to people and telling them that.
No.
Or past them.
Yeah, I just like,
Or
kind of
that.
start saying it like while I'm walking past
Going to
them.
business.
Hey, some guy took a big nasty piss in there. I don't know who it was.
Somebody's
but-
supposed to take a
but
big
maybe it was a
piss.
guy who you're talking to right now. And they're like, I'm not talking to you.
wearing my I love pissing shirt. This guy's weird. I hate this neighborhood.
Yeah. Well,
So what's up, guys?
We're hanging out.
Just hanging out?
We're just hanging out.
Just pissing, hanging, children, wolves.
yeah, I think that's it, really.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is a great episode, I think.
How's life in the book world, I guess?
In what regard? For me personally, or for the writers, or for the publishers?
I guess
that's a great question.
I don't care about the publishers
Sure.
in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah, they're number 3 on that list, I guess.
Yeah. You're number one.
You,
Yeah.
then the
number one.
writers, and then...
How am I doing?
publishers.
I'm doing okay. I'm reading right now Mark Hoppus's memoir.
Oh, yes.
Does
You
that
guys-
get like because you have to read a lot of memoirs, and a lot of these, I know a lot of these people who write these books, it's not them writing it, they're just
No,
talking.
and I'm almost pro that because I don't want
Yes.
an idiot writing his own. Like, tell a professional who can at least like translate it
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
something literary.
Yeah, because I read Charles, not the Charles Bronson. There's a Britain has their most violent prisoner. His nickname is Charles Bronson.
Was he violent before or after he got in there?
After.
Interesting. So he went in and became like kind of the Tyson Fury of the prison system.
To a degree. He was so violent they kicked him out of prison.
Where they put him?
They just let him out, basically.
Wow.
There's a movie about it. It's called Bronson. It's really good.
Wait, that is so smart what he just did.
But I read
because he would be like pulling toilets and sinks off the wall and stuff like that.
How did he get so strong?
Beating him. That's what I bought his book, Solitary Fitness, about how he got so strong in the prison cell by himself. It's just a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups.
Okay, you know what's so interesting is I went to a class in Manhattan called, what is it called? Like ConFit, maybe?
Yeah.
Or have you heard of that?
To a degree.
It's like convict fitness or something. And I remember my like friend worked at a company that did like a collab with them. So I went and I had a shirt and liberals would give me a lot of shit. Like, oh, that feels problematic. Mm-hmm. But the reality of it was this guy who had been sent to jail for selling drugs, went in, lost a ton of weight, got really fit, learned how to use his own body weight to work out, went out, started this business, and now only hires other like formerly incarcerated people, which is like
it's like Dave's
better
killer.
than whatever the fuck you're doing, which is what, making fun of the business because you're like, that sounds problematic. Like, now he is absolutely training rich white women for like way too much money an hour. But isn't that good? Isn't that how you redistribute the wealth?
Absolutely.
He's like Dave's killer bread.
Yeah.
He was a killer at one time?
So he was in jail, and then when he got out of jail, his family had a bread company, and then it was his idea to like put all like the like healthy seeds and
because he had been missing them.
I think they were just like, fuck, we got to do something. And but now he not only hires, but very much hires a lot of like people who have just
formerly
been released
incarcerated
from prison and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there should be a caveat a little bit, obviously. I think there is of like, what'd you do though?
But you know, they literally paid the time.
Yeah, they served their time.
They did the crime and now they've done the time. And what is retributive justice or whatever, you know what I mean?
But my point being about, I read his book, Solitary Fitness, that he unfortunately wrote himself.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it is chaos. It's a run-on sentence that goes on for 80 pages. It doesn't make any sense. There's no punctuation almost. Too much capitalization and then not enough.
Yeah.
But I love it. I loaned it to somebody. I lost the book, but it's a really sick. I'll show you the cover of it.
Was that his plan? Did he have this idea like, what if I become so rebellious? I guess it wouldn't work in America because in America they'll put you in solitary confinement or they'll send you to El Salvador.
Yeah. No, they'll disappear you really quick if you damage the prison too much.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, look how sick that cover is.
Wow.
I'm just
I read Tommy Fury's memoir. Do you know about him in the fighting world? Do you know the story of Tyson?
Tommy's, not Tyson's.
No, Tommy, because he's a Love Islander.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's actually the famous one to me.
That's very funny.
It's very funny.
And we're Love Islander. We've watched.
We
understand.
You watched Molly May Hague and Tommy's
No, I
season?
watched the first two or three seasons.
When they were still killing themselves?
Yeah.
Wantonly?
Really. And they were still fucking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched like the first maybe 5 seasons.
Wow. Okay, so
I did see the Tommy Fury one.
Something really interesting. My favorite fact about Tyson Fury. First of all, did you know he is in fact named after Mike Tyson?
I do.
Did you know that when he was born, he was 3 months premature?
Oh.
And that when he was born, he weighed 1 pound?
That's crazy.
And now he weighs a lot more than that.
What a huge jump.
Do you ever imagine if that thing had been fully cooked?
Right.
He would have been too big.
He'd be 100 feet tall.
We would have had to kill him. Like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like Frankenstein's monster.
Put a big chain around his neck and let people throw oranges at him for money.
I think about that. Imagine giving birth to a little baby. It's 1 pound. It's so little and so early. And you're just like, well, let's see if this thing even forms all the way.
Sure.
And instead, it never stops growing like a flubber freak.
It's violent.
It is funny, though, because he does look uncooked.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like
he's a goofy looking guy.
Yeah, he's very like...
His arms
Turns out what you develop in the final trimester is the ability to stop growing.
Yeah, that's
your bones
it actually
confused.
like the glue never stuck, so it just kept going forever.
It's a really crazy person to exist.
Yeah,
big, kind of chubby guy who is just really good at fighting. His father and grandfather were both, and I'm going to say the word, gypsy bare knuckle champions.
Well, that's what was so stressful is reading the book, is he keeps calling himself that. I'm like, I think that's a slur now. So but that's like their nickname, and I'm like, he's allowed to say it, but am I?
No, I mean, it's
like I'm like reading the book, being like Tyson with a certain nickname, Fury.
Yeah. The traveling king.
Yeah, literally.
Like, all right.
Again, I don't argue against the fact of it being a slur. I don't care. But I also think if you've never met someone of that? Like I've
I
never
have.
met you've met a gypsy?
Yeah, we got in trouble.
Oh.
We were in Ireland. We were walking around. And
Okay, so I'm an American, so I'm not meeting him.
we were in Ireland walking around, and we saw these two kids with a mini horse, and we were like, "Oh my god, mini horse on the street! That's crazy!"
Yeah.
And we got like excited because we were like, "You see a little horse, you think a delight."
Absolutely.
And so we
You're
like
not
kind of
wrong.
went up to be like, "Oh my god, like can we?" And they looked like they were gonna kill us, and we were like, "Weird interaction. Why would you have a mini horse and be so mad about it?"
Yeah.
And then later we were talking to Irish people, and they were like, "Well, that was probably like a group of people,
But what are they mad at you for?
just like."
Oh, you're not supposed to interact with them?
I don't, they just weren't. I guess culturally, they're not excited to share their horse.
That's the
understandable.
issue. It's
okay,
it's the,
we're not
I don't know,
excited
but
to share our
It's
mini
like
horse.
it's like running up and trying to pet a service animal.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to do it, but they should put the patches and the vest on the horse.
I don't
then.
really know what
Gypsy
code I
horse.
broke, but
Yeah.
Clearly, to
Oh my God.
the Irish, they were like, no,
Yeah.
okay.
Irish people were like, "You did like."
You did it.
Are they still
You
traveling?
did a
Where are they
social
going?
faux pas. I mean, Ireland's not that big.
Yeah, you just don't stop moving.
Just up and down the UK
Wow.
to Scotland.
Avoiding taxes and debt collectors, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I don't know much.
Call in if you're a gypsy right now.
The number flashes on the screen.
Number
Call
flash-
Diego's phone. It's Diego's phone, and yell at him for
If you
saying
haven't,
it.
I'm curious. You can yell at me. I'm open to listening about being
Yeah.
wrong about a word that I fully agree is a slur.
Yeah, I don't. But how is the Tommy Fury book though?
It's interesting.
Short, really short.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because whoever wrote it did a great job of making him seem very like wholesome and sweet and like respectful and humble and just like a hard worker who wants to like honor the world of boxing and like appreciates his brother's fame and understands the doors that have been opened for him.
Okay.
And he just loves his girlfriend and he loves his baby. And then of course between time of publishing, between the time like of printing and publishing, he had been caught cheating on her
Of
pretty
course.
publicly.
Yeah.
So it ends with him being like, "I'm just so happy and grateful to be with my beautiful daughter and my wonderful fiance, loving life, appreciating her, and being loyal every day." And then it's like
And never
epilogue.
cheating.
And it's like, since this book has been gone to print, some things have come out. And he's like, "I want to make it
Whoa.
clear, I have never had an affair." And it's like, okay.
Oh, denying it.
Yeah, but I wonder if he's like, "I've never had an affair. I've only fucked these bitches once."
Yeah.
I never fucked the same bitch.
I didn't
affair
care about
implies
them.
multiple-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "I was only having multiple one-night stands per night.
And
Six a night
It's
stand."
a loophole. 6 a night.
That's a habit. He has half a dozen stands.
He's got a bigger dozen cheating.
The woman who came out, who was like the big public face of all of his cheating, claims she was the fourth girl that night.
Ew.
And what's crazy? It's so funny because apparently it was this night that he went to Saudi Arabia to see a Chris Brown concert. So you were
Likely
like,
play. That's
Jesus.
That's a tornado of horrible words.
So something very interesting about celebrity memoirs, especially early on, is that the last chapter is always like a business pitch, right? So it's like, and it doesn't matter how fucked up their life is or how successful they are now. It's always like, "And I overcame being an orphan to become the greatest musician of all time to tell you about my true dream, hand cream."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and suddenly now I have my own wine. Like,
Yeah.
and it's always, and so the
yeah.
funny thing about Tommy Fury is because he's such a advertisement shill, right? His final chapter is about like the wonders of Saudi Arabia and how it's such a great place to travel and their hospitality is incredible.
God.
And he's like talking about this night where he got to go to this Chris Brown concert in Saudi Arabia and how Chris Brown, he goes, was just as nice and humble and down to earth as a guy as you would hope he could be. It gives you hope for the rest of humanity.
Chris Brown gives you hope.
And meanwhile, and then it's like, so not only are you like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I guess like women's rights mean nothing to you, but also that's the night that he was out fucking so you think 4 girls one night and a Chris Brown concert. Like,
That's
do you not eat?
insane.
Yeah, right?
Do you not
Jesus
sleep?
Christ.
That's like going to Guantanamo Bay to watch a Jeffrey Epstein concert. That's insane. Saudi
it's
Arabia
so
for a
easy to
Chris
get.
Brown concert.
And can you also, I mean, I'm not a man, but I just feel like
Goddamn right.
four times
Four times is different than 4 women.
4 women.
4 women
it just
is-
feels like a lot.
It's a lot of being like, "So how are you?"
Well, that's the thing. There's none of that, I'm
it's-
sure.
Yeah. The preamble.
The pre and post amble,
but
if you're being
still, at
respectable.
what point does it become a job?
Day 1, when you're born, honey.
Yeah. No, 4 in one night isn't. That's like.
And that's like she's the fourth. It could, who
She
knows?
went last.
That's one of those things though where I'm like, that does hinge on almost like compulsion at
Yes.
that point, where
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't even feel like there's no way it could. I mean, maybe it is, or it's like an ego thing, but it's like this can't feel like sexually gratifying when you're like having sex with the fourth woman.
I just feel like looking at me like getting hard. You know what I mean? Like how
Yeah.
turned on are like at what
Oh
point?
no, he's juicing for sure. He's
Yeah,
on
they're-
PEDs for.
What's
He's
a PED?
A penis
personal-
enhancing drug.
Yeah, he's on like
Penis
Blue
en-
Chew or Viagra or
Oh,
whatever.
oh,
He's
Like,
on some
Oh.
Saudi blue
yeah,
chew.
yeah. He's not on.
It's like
He's
camel
not.
blood
He's
to
not
the
au
dome.
naturel. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
I'm
they-
just like, at what point are you not just like happy?
Oh, yeah. If you're having sex with 4 women in one night, I would assume that you're not happy. You're
very happy.
the
You're on
happiest-
either end of the spectrum.
I would say this: if it's 4 women, this is okay. I'm figuring this out in real time. If you're gonna have sex with 4 women and it's all 4 of them at the same time,
Yeah, that's one
then
thing.
that's different.
That's different.
than 4 separate women. Because that is, if you're like 4 women
Can
at
I
one time,
say
that's
4
like.
consecutively? That feels like at this point you're just like a sales. Do you know what I mean? It feels like you're like a bottle girl or something.
Yeah,
You just have
That
to
should
keep
be the
going
last
out.
chapter in his book. Pitching having sex with him.
Can I say,
The
is
wonder-
that not the whole book?
Yeah, no, truly. The
I
wonders
rub
of
your
having
feet.
sex with Tommy
I
Fury.
give you a sweater that has been embroidered, number 4.
Yeah. Does he talk about going to get fake teeth?
No.
Legit-
Does he have fake teeth?
He just seems like it,
Well,
yeah.
wouldn't you have to when you're getting punched like that?
You'd think so.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Logistically, though, real quick, can we go back to it? Do you think he went to 4 different places, or he was in one place and 4 different women were brought at a time?
I imagine there was a bathroom stall.
Okay.
I think he just probably had 4 women shepherded to him. I'm sure that they had some kind of handler.
I'm imagining he's at a party.
Oh, I'm imagining. Yeah, maybe. I'm
I'm
imagining
imagining
he's at a
he's nice
hotel
and he
room.
likes me.
Yeah. That's what he says. He's just at like a massage parlor. He gets a rub and tug from 4 different employees there, and he's like, I was with 4 women in the same night.
He bumped his penis into 4 women in a line. He goes,
Yeah.
that counts.
Hey.
I'm counting that.
He's actually just jerking off thinking about you.
Yeah. He's like, that's good enough for me. That is sex, by the way.
That counts. Yeah, it's like when I watched that one of those, I think it was Jubilee or whatever, one of those videos of like, guess who has had sex with this many people, blah, blah, blah. It's like one
Oh.
person guessing a room full of people how many partners they've had.
Wait, what game is this?
It's a YouTube channel. The all-white room where you...
God, okay. I thought you went to a party where this was like the game. And
No,
I was
no,
like,
no. I don't go to
what
parties.
are you
Yeah.
talking about?
That would
And
be
can I come?
So awesome. I really want to go to that. I would tell everyone a different number.
Yeah.
Like a bachelor party where like,
Yeah.
okay, we're all just going to find out who's had sex with. Do you guys count how many people you've had sex with? Do you still know?
I have a vague idea.
You know.
And I'll tell you in your ear.
There's a range for sure.
There's a
Yeah.
range.
But I don't think I know the exact number.
Do you think if you sat down and tried to like list them out, you could even recall?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Vaguely, but definitely not names.
I-
Yeah,
you would have-
I'm just going her.
Yeah, true.
Her, she, her. They, a lot of they.
Do you know the exact number?
No.
Oh.
And at this point, it's been so like, I feel like I remember at one point in my life, like making a list. And then one of those things where like, for the rest of the week, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Or like, when you
fuck.
run by your friends, you're like, and they're like, well, of course, the famous. And you're like, yeah, he was
that
famous.
fucking guy. Yeah.
But then
yeah.
at this point, it's been like, I've been in a relationship so long that I feel like even that number, I'm like, I feel like I remember that number. And then you like give or take
Yeah.
5 or 6. And you're like, I
Yeah,
guess, like,
yeah, because you're in like a different. You're married now in like a different part
yeah,
of your
I don't
life.
have to
That-
play this game, this bodies game anymore.
Yeah.
My value's been locked in.
You walk into the kitchen. You're all of a sudden your husband has a wireless microphone. He's just like, "What's your body count?"
Could you imagine him now? He was like, whoa. That's not what I meant. Oh my
Oh,
God.
what the-
That's not what I thought. I thought it was just me.
I'm out of here.
I thought I was the first.
He has a big cartoonish suitcase. Goodbye.
He's a bindle on a stick.
A whore.
Not my wife.
What the hell?
Oh,
I thought I was the only one you did that weird tongue thing for.
Yeah,
Or-
I learned it right here in real time. I came up with it just now.
I was watching I was Googling how to please my husband,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned all my tricks that
I was
way.
reading 17 magazine and they said, have you
Yeah.
tried an ice cube?
Just turning the basket sideways.
But something funny about Cosmo is for a really like long time in my life, at least, they were always trying to convince you to tweak a nipple.
Oh,
His-
yeah.
Oh, Oh.
Have you ever had a rogue nipple tweak?
Yeah.
A little bit.
And let me tell you this source.
Yeah. I remember sitting next to a lot of the girls in my English class. I can't remember, one of the classes. And they were like definitely like big fans of reading those like articles. And they'd be like, do you think you'd like that? And I go, no.
No.
I don't think I'd like that.
No.
Your
The Ice Cube
throbbing
one is-
member wouldn't.
Yeah. I really thought my sexual life would involve a lot more ice cubes.
Yeah.
I really was like, yeah, no, that's going to happen to me for sure. And most women are just like, I guess I'll suck
Well,
it.
like, what do you feel like? What are we in the kitchen already?
Yeah.
Like, what I'm gonna. I guess ice cubes are kind of like the quicksand of adulthood.
Yeah.
Like I was told there'd be a lot more of that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. She's like, excuse me for a second. And then you just hear her talking to your roommate. And he's like, so what are you doing? Like, she's getting an ice cube. Just come on.
You just hear the rumble of the ice maker.
The
Like there's and then it's like it all comes out at once. It's crushed.
Yeah.
It's back with just like
She's
a
like-
mouthful.
She's like, oh, shit. She's having a hard time in
I'll
the
fucking touch
kitchen.
that one molar
Oh,
that
fuck.
sensitive
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Fuck.
She has to brush with Sensodyne first to prepare. Harder than anal, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember being like, just put the penis in your mouth.
Yeah.
You don't need a bunch of other stuff, honey.
That's the treat.
Yeah.
Up and down is the trick.
I remember when I was in 7th grade or 8th. Yeah, I think it was 7th grade. And AIM was, you guys had AIM?
Oh, yeah.
You, had you
Oh,
were from
yeah.
America?
Oh, yeah.
I'm married to a Canadian, so he was on like.
MSN?
Yes. He was on MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Fucking
to not know
insane.
the sound of a door opening and your crush has arrived.
Yeah, you're like, oh, my whole day is different now.
But there was this one boy, Michael, and every day he would get on AIM and he would DM, or I guess it wasn't called DMing back then. He would IM me and my friend saying, Pwease, like about us sucking his dick.
Dude, that's such good riz. Please, just suck it. No, it doesn't
Please.
cost you anything.
Pwease with a W.
I can't wait to
And
tell
we know
multiple
for
people.
sure because it was spelled out. And then, and I remember we came up with this prank we were going to do.
Wait. Sorry. He would message you both independently?
Well, we would be sitting together at the same computer. We were best
Awesome.
friends.
So he thought he was just talking to one of you.
I don't think it was a secret. I don't think we were, but we came up with this prank we were going to do to him, which was we were going to pretend to give him a blowjob, pull off the put peanut butter at the bottom of a condom, and then be like, look what's on your dick, you're diseased.
Oh.
Which is like off the bat, a condom for a blowjob. Like we were like talking.
so many
But
things.
But so we said, okay, we'll do it. And I just remember he went, oh, never mind. And he like walked out.
The door noise.
fuck, never mind.
Ba-doom.
We never even got to prank his ass because it turned out he was a pussy already.
Scared.
I didn't even. And my friend told me to ask. I don't even want.
The door
I was
closing
going to
sound.
see if you would. Ew.
The door closing sound effect, and then also steps running away, and then
Yeah.
also a car turning on and driving away. That's
Because
awesome
I
to
didn't
freak
reach
out.
that point until way later in
Where
life.
you were scared of getting head?
Not scared, but
You're
what-
just now realize how afraid you are.
No, yeah, now,
Don't bite.
now
Don't bite.
anytime there's a woman's head near my penis, I'm like,
There's teeth in there.
No. But it's like the thing where I'm like, oh, I don't actually like. There's a point where you're like, if you like talk to someone, you're like, I don't know if I actually want to have sex with you, but the fact that I now know we
Yeah.
could, that's more than enough.
Well, I've
really
always said, like, you
got
know,
it.
the idea of like a hall pass, like a celebrity hall pass. I'm like, isn't
Yeah.
it more powerful to have said no anyway?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not who do I want to have sex with, it's who do I want to turn down?
Yeah, who
Or who
could
do
I
I
have
want
sex
to have? You
Very
know what the
girl
dream
thought.
is? Is this like he comes to me, we have like one kiss. I go, no, I can't. And he's like, please. And you're like, I can't.
I
and
have
then
to
you walk
go.
away.
Yeah.
But you have a little, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got the.
I have a 7 at home. I have to take that.
I actually am married to at least a 9. I love him.
That's beautiful.
I actually am married to a real lookalike for my celeb crush. To be
Oh,
honest.
whoa.
Yeah. They're they look very similar.
Okay, Mackay Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's huge. Did
Yeah.
you
Cousins.
Did you start? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you start dating and then realize, or did you start talking and you knew that you knew it going in that they looked like the celebrity crush, or after the fact you realized it?
Can I say he was just like like my crush on him was from the fact that he was exactly my type. Like to me, I'm like, oh, that to me is what I think of as very, very hot. And obviously, like your celeb crush is going to be probably someone you think is hot. And then I wouldn't say I was like, oh, that's who he looks like. But then I started hearing it, and then it turned out that he's like, oh yeah, my whole life that's like been
The comparison.
The comparison.
Wow.
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
Well, and mostly the artistic
I like
qualities.
His painting skills.
It's the ears and
It's not just George W. Bush, it's George W. Bush in his own self-portrait.
Yeah.
There's something a little bit fuzzier about his face that I
weird-
really like.
seems like he's
gloss.
far away all the time.
And he's always seated near tile. I feel like George W. Bush is always painting people in showers. Is that right? Where did I get that?
That rang a bell right away. So I think you have you're
I
onto something.
feel like I see him like in a tiled shower. Yeah.
Oh.
A veteran of his own war.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. He's just painting somebody in Abu Ghraib, just being like, "You guys know it. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry." He's like kind of confessing.
This is
to
my
being like,
apology.
I'm sorry about that, by the way. All right, see you later.
You want to hear another confession?
Of course.
I once got mocked mercilessly because I had been pronouncing Abu Ghraib like Abu Dhabi, so I'd been calling it Abu Grabi.
Abu Dhabi rocks. Abu Dhabi.
How
That's
often were you
awesome.
talking about Abu Ghraib for this to be an issue?
Did I tell you? Well, like often enough that I was confident, not often enough that I got corrected.
Sure.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he must have been like,
3 or 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? And then on the 5th time, someone went, "What?"
Yeah.
yeah, I imagine.
I'm like, is she incorrect or is she having a little too much fun with this situation?
I'm imagining your friends are hitting you with the drink tweet where
Yeah.
you're like, I went to a beautiful restaurant and got a drink. It's like, oh, was it Abu Dhabi?
I went to Abu Ghraib to go to a Chris Brown concert.
And I fucked 17 women in a row.
And it was
And-
awesome.
But they were hidden like an Easter egg
Yeah.
hunt. And I had to follow clues.
That's the interesting part. You have to find sexually available women in Saudi Arabia.
Well, can I tell you something? I think if you're at a Chris Brown concert, it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Like fish in a barrel.
They're importing a bunch.
yeah. I
They're
really do
importing?
think like there's like 10 like Logan Pauls invited, and each Logan Paul brings 30
Okay,
sluts.
yeah.
And they're also very, I mean, it's like, okay, you're not wearing one, you
Yeah,
are wearing
yeah,
one,
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
wearing
yeah.
I will say, if a woman is looking like a slut in Saudi Arabia, she has an agenda, and you can kind of guess what it is.
And she
Yeah.
said that, not Mike and Diego.
That's like it's like when you see a woman on Instagram who's like, I'm in Dubai now and is doing like Dubai like Spawn Con. You're
Mhm.
like, this is rough. This
Selena
is a-
Gomez and Gigi Hadid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gigi Hadid, that's a rough one.
This was like 5 years ago. They all did New Year's Eve there. It was bizarre.
Oh.
Is there, since you have such a vast knowledge of celebrity kind of backstory, I guess is the word, is there something you are surprised that people keep forgetting about?
Like about themselves or about others?
About so, like the populace is forgetting about a celebrity thing where you're like, we got to talk about this more often. Like this is crazy.
It's nothing like. No, but there are stories where I'm like, whoa, you had the platform of the world and you never even mentioned that yet. Like
Oh.
Shania Twain has one of the craziest backstories of all time. I
Okay.
think she is somebody who wrote her own book. I'm sure of it because it was like I was like, well, this is an incredible story told by somebody who I don't think finished high school.
Yeah.
But she was like so first of all, assaulted by I think her dad and then her stepfather.
Jesus Christ.
Raised very, very poor. And then her parents got into a car accident and she became like the de facto parent of her like 3 younger brothers. And they were like living in a cabin in the woods with like no heat or water. And just like she was one of those women who like she was so beautiful and so sweet, and like horrible things were just always happening to her because like men were obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Like she had a neighbor
yeah.
in the woods who was mad she wouldn't sleep with him, so he like killed her dog, kind of like just shot her dog.
It's
and
not
she
gonna
already-
do it, guys.
like here she
Yeah.
is, no water, no heat, and like raising 3 boys. She's like singing at some like review for a ski lodge. They're living off of like $100 a week, and then this man just kills your dog because you're so hot.
Because
Like,
you're so hot.
and then of course she met her husband. He was like that famous producer. He did the AC/DC producing, and he produced all of her hits.
Okay.
They got married. They were together for years. She moved to Switzerland with him. He ended up having an affair with her best friend.
Dude, this is crazy.
And then they got married, and then you know who she ended up marrying in retaliation? The best
Lan-
friend's ex-husband.
Whoa.
Oh.
What a fucking cycle.
And now she's just like, now you see her at Vegas drunk, and you're like, well, of course, you have a lot of trauma.
You
Yeah.
got a lot you're dealing with.
Here's the
Jesus.
maybe not the craziest part to me, but having a neighbor while living in the woods.
It's funny.
It's like, why would you live in the woods for a reason? You don't
Yeah.
want to be near people. And this guy's like, I'm close enough to know which dog is yours, and I'm gonna kill it.
Jesus
Well, the thing is,
Christ.
if like there's only one dog, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
The
If you
dog
see the
around
dog,
here.
it's
Yeah.
it's like
that's
when you
true.
go to the beach and like finally an empty spot and you put your towel down and some fucking guy comes and sits too close to you. You're like, what is this? Are you
Yeah.
fucking with me?
We
Is
have
someone paying
all-
you to
yeah.
do this?
You have all
Man.
the. So that's. I mean, I have to be honest. I've read like 250 memoirs at this point.
Yeah.
So
They're all just like mumble jumbled and like when people are like, "Oh, what's your favorite?" I'm like, none. None of
yeah.
them. I
It's
fucking
blurry.
I dread every single one. I can't wait to stop. I'm not that interested in like it feels so and it makes when you've eaten too much junk food
yes.
and then you like crave like, you're like if I don't get nutrients in me, I will die. I
need a piece of
actually feel
broccoli.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way with these memoirs. I'm like I just can't stomach them anymore.
Yeah.
Understandable.
There's a few I've read that I'm like, this is all. These are really great. And
Yeah, because if you're reading like one-offs, you're probably reading the great ones.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Right,
But,
right.
And I used to love those. Those to me used to be
Yeah.
like a reprise when we get a good one. But I'm at the point now where even the good ones are like, I'd rather be reading something I want to read.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Makes
I love
sense.
the Andre Agassi one. That's one of my favorites.
That's such a lie.
but that's of course. Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
I did meth one time by accident.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I took a sip of my friend's Coca-Cola. There
Yeah.
was meth in there. All I did was clean my apartment.
Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't know he was like a meth guy.
Oh, for a while.
Big time meth. guy.
Whoa. Big time meth guy playing tennis.
Yeah. Well, you
Well-
need energy.
Can I tell you something about tennis pre 2004?
Sure.
It was just like who's the biggest psycho. It really was. I've read Andre Agassi's. I've read John.
McEnroe.
I was gonna say Updike, but McEnroe's correct.
John Updike.
John McEnroe. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've read a third one, but it really was like back in the day. They'd be like, "Well, I had won Wimbledon, and if I wanted to make a comeback, I was gonna have to start working out." Like it. Like, do you know what I mean? They're just like. You know that Luke Mona's joke where he's like back in the day it was just like who's eating hot dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is like they were like I was 22 years old and I decided to start stretching.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really was just like I hate my dad so much I won't lose. They'd be like every day I'd get a big McDonald's sundae on the way to my game.
What did Wayne Gretzky eat in between
Oh,
periods?
he'd have a hot dog and a Diet Coke in between
and,
periods.
and a Snickers.
And Snickers sometimes, like in between periods, just to have fun.
Wouldn't that make you puke?
Not really. I guess not. When you're such a finely tuned athlete, your body could just process everything fast.
But wouldn't it seems like when you're that I don't know, I have this very fancy espresso machine. And honestly my friend used like sink water yesterday and apparently now it's like a little bit different. I'm like I think when things are so finely tuned you can't just put a hot dog in it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Ovechkin just broke his Gretzky's goal record.
I know 900.
Famously,
Canadian husband.
894, and famously
Ooh.
has a special water bottle to the side with his number on it, and it's full of Coca-Cola. Like in the game, he's drinking Coca-Cola. Like during the game.
See, and then you've got fucking bitches doing Pilates being like, if you don't have fiber before protein, and I'm just like, it's all made
Yeah.
up. You're just hot or you're not.
Yeah, I think it's knowing yourself,
Yeah.
knowing what you're capable of and what you need, and umbrella statements or ideas.
Yeah.
I think as long as they're vaguely healthy or helpful, but when they go too far, like everyone like, oh, I play tennis once a week. What's the best player in the world eating? It's like, why are you looking?
that
It
hasn't
doesn't
been- yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any better because of that.
You're waiting 95 minutes to get on the courts at Fort Greene Park.
Yeah.
You're not like, you're not sweating and leaving it all on the courts like you're Pete Sampras or something.
It's very different.
Yeah, it's everyone wanting to. I mean, that's like the shit now. That's like every video is about how everything can be like perfectly optimized
Mhm.
at all times. It's like here's how you get 9,000 grams of protein every single
Dude,
day.
and they'll always be like, you'll never believe it, but this pudding has 100 grams of protein. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it looks like fucking
They're
shit.
like, how do I get that much protein into my oatmeal? Well, I start with Greek yogurt and then I add protein powder. And I'm like, well, that feels...
Duh.
It's always like, this cookie, you'll never guess. It also is not made out of cookie. It's protein molded. And
She's
Yeah.
like picking it with two hands, like fuck.
yeah,
God damn
I'm
it.
like, oh, actually, I could guess.
Yeah, it's truly like how many things it'll be like, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to take protein powder, you're going to mix it with Greek yogurt, and then you're going to sprinkle some cereal in there and you'll freeze it. And it's frozen protein cereal treats. And you eat that 19 times a day. And then you'll be, and then it's like, but you still have to go to work.
Yeah, and
they get
farting a
in-
lot.
When they get into like they're like those David bars or whatever, they're like, we've beat it. We had 25 grams of protein, no calories, and you're just like, well, that can't be. Like at some point, I am like, it seems like what would be healthiest would be the common sense way of eating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't possibly be good for you to be eating more protein than anything else.
Yeah, I think it's like the thing where it's like people will try to take the highest level of something and make it work for them. It's like, well, it's like, yeah, I don't need to eat like Mr. Olympia level bodybuilder if I'm just like going to the gym a couple times a
But then
week.
you hear about these guys and it's like they're drinking Coca-Cola. So really,
Yeah, truly. You're like, oh, you just like, or like, I mean, up until maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, it's like every professional skateboarder was just like a heroin addict who didn't care about throwing themselves downstairs.
that's why we have to keep inventing new sports because like for the love of the game.
Yeah.
That's why it's good that like windsurfing is up there because it's like who's the best windsurfer? I don't know. That kid in 5th grade who's like his parents got a divorce and his mom lives in Florida now, so every spring break he gets to practice.
Yeah.
Or he has to hang out with his stepdad he hates.
Yeah. He's just light enough that the wind can really carry him. And then once he hits his growth spurt, he's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that way no one gets to be like, we know exactly how to make the athlete. No, just some fucking guys. Some guys like it.
But
Look at him go.
And that's the thing too, where it's like I do feel bad for like kids in the way that it's like there's so much information available now in terms of like how to be the best at this sport. Where it's like, oh, you don't even get to have fun anymore.
Yeah.
You're just doing like tennis ball, eye-hand
Yeah,
coordination
lights,
drills
hitting
at
it.
like 6 years old because your dad watched a fucking TikTok from some like NFL coach that teaches you how to like being like, finally, this family's gonna have some money as long as I ruin my kid's childhood.
Because it's always so funny then when you see just like a natural talent and you're like, oh yeah, you can fucking hand-eye your coordination to death, but that guy just I watched Michael Strahan come up the other day, and did you know Michael Strahan didn't even start playing football till college? He just like auditioned for his local team and they were like, you're really good.
Audition is really funny.
Oh, you're one of the best of all time, actually. Come on over here. We love that.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like the like, and obviously not everyone's like a Dennis Rodman, Michael Strahan, but it is just like even Simone Biles. I read her memoir and she was like, I was really late to the game relative to everybody else. Like they like wouldn't let me in because compared to the other 8-year-olds, I wasn't as good. And you know, there's 8-year-olds that have burnt out. Or even I was just watching this woman who won worlds in figure skating, and she was like number 1 at 13, dropped out, had a mental breakdown, and like came back 5 years later. And it turns out she's still like, she has a nose piercing and she kicks ass. You know what I mean? There is just like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Some people are just like meant to be doing this and they are better than you. And like, if you don't have it, give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't touched by God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all that optimization stuff. It's like, okay, here's how you finally tune someone who has so much incredible natural talent that you're like, oh, you're like chipping away a little bit at this like 95% done statue, not just being like, I'm a guy who mostly does B2B sales for some company and I also want to be really good at pickleball.
Yeah.
So I should probably bring a food scale to a restaurant. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Just go and have fun.
Yeah. And I will say though that there is a line of enthusiasm that these certain little extra things in your life can help with, and I feel like enthusiasm is so like it permeates so much of your life. So if you have an enthusiasm for something as stupid as pickleball, all of a sudden maybe you're more interested in taking your wife on dates, and like these things kind of like just go. I think it's useful. It's easy to laugh at, and I'm glad we are, but it can be useful.
I mean, listen, and it's like I've been training for a half marathon, and I'm like shocked every time at how if I have like a good healthy dinner the night before, the way that I'm like this is no problem. Whereas like if I was like out or like had a bowl of cereal, I'm like out there I'm like, oh, it's amazing what like a couple 100 calories of carbs can do in terms. But when people are like, the way that online now they're like, you should be getting double your body weight in protein, and they're like, we just found out you also need fiber. Quick,
put it in there so you
quick,
can get
have
it out.
an apple.
Poop, please poop.
It's like, it's like, oh, weird. Being an adult man who's just eating 1.5 pounds of ground beef every day is maybe not good for digestion.
There's something kind of common sensey about being like, oh, we've like circled back to being so fucking intense that somehow we've reinvented a balanced meal.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
We've designed it in a pyramid. We've decided be the easiest thing for everyone to understand. How long have you been training for a half marathon? What'd you say?
A half, which
okay.
I feel almost pathetic even.
Oh, good.
I do. No, I like agree. It's in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
My goal was to run it. So my like story with this is that I guess 6 or 7 years ago at this point, I had signed up for a half marathon. Every time I went out to like run, I'd get bored after like a mile or two and
very understandable.
And be like, I guess I just can't run far. And then it was the day of the thing. I show up, I start running, and I'm like in my family group chat being like, you'll never believe it, I'm still running. And then like mile 6, I'm like, oh my God, I'm still running. And then I think it was like mile like 11 and a half. And I was like, oh, and I've hit a wall. But I was like, dang, if I could run 11 and a half miles, like if that was in me this whole time, I guess this just all mental weakness. So it's always been important to me to try to like do this because I'm like, clearly I physically can.
Yeah.
It's such like a mental issue I have. And last year I signed up for one with my friend Ashley.
Oh, big fan.
And then I hadn't trained at all. And the night before we had a big pasta dinner. And then I woke up the morning of.
Just did the carbo loading.
And it was raining. And I was like, I don't want to go. And she was so mad at me that I was an Equinox member at the time. And I had like a guest pass. So we went to Equinox and I walked on a treadmill and she ran half marathon on a treadmill.
Respect.
Because she was like, bitch, you made me sign up. You made me eat the carb.
This was your idea.
She was like, I took the weekend off of like partying so that I could be well rested for this. So then this time I'm like, okay, Claire, for my 32nd birthday, my goal was to run the half marathon and have like trained properly for it. And then also to do it under 2 hours. So we'll find out. We'll find out in 2 weeks.
We'll keep everyone abreast of Claire's journey and how she
I just got the corral time. I was like, oh my God, it's early.
Oh, what time is it at?
I have to be there between 6 and 6:30, and my race starts at 7:30 in the morning.
Ugh.
And I was like so excited to go to that place Super Burrito after.
Oh,
and now
yeah.
I'm like running the numbers. I'm like, I'm gonna be done by 9:30.
Yeah,
I can't go get a
burrito.
Like not even. I wanted to go get like a margarita and like a regular like I wanted to get like the Crunchwrap Supreme, and I'm like, I don't even think they'll be ready.
Yeah, they're like, we're not open for a while.
Like 5 hours, but
yeah.
But oh well.
Then you go home, shower, take a nap, maybe.
Take a nap.
Then you go have your Crunchwrap.
Yeah, jog up there for the lactic acid.
That's one of those things I think I've always secretly, I'm like, I want to be like a guy who like runs.
Mm.
And I guess
Are you saying that tone in your head?
like, no, I'm like, it's cool to me. I think it's cool that you just like, oh, I'm just going to go for like a big long run. And then I do it and I'm like,
No, it sucks.
I want to look at my phone.
Yeah, it sucks so bad. But there is something I'm like, oh, I guess now I'm like, oh, I can just kind of like run for an hour and a half. I'm like, that's an insane amount of time to just be moving nonstop.
Yeah.
I also am obsessed with the New York City Marathon, like watching it. I'm like, I used to live right on Bedford at like the 12 and a half mile. And I just like, it's my favorite day of the year in New York. I love cheering. And because I am to me represents exactly like my biggest like failures of personality.
Okay.
And the fact that I'm like sure from a physical standpoint, I am like quite athletic.
Sure.
And it's all mental that I like can't do anything. So I would love to have run a marathon on every continent. That's kind of my before I die. But I do believe they get easier as you get older because you get older, you get more bored anyway. And you're like, fuck it. You're like, why not go run for 2 hours on Saturday? What else would I be doing?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like running. I don't do it ever.
Yeah.
I find it so... I have a hard time... Same thing with like hiking where I either want... And not that running is physically not taxing, but like I either want to be fighting for my life physically or sitting completely still.
Yeah, I get that.
The middle ground, I just get very bored of hiking.
Interesting. Hiking, I think, is fun, but it is also, it's like, I like it as like a group activity.
I like it as a group activity. I love to have like we're hiking to a waterfall. Like there's this destination.
Yes.
And there's cars that'll bring us back.
Interesting.
I don't like to hike back, especially. I'm like, I already saw everything in that direction.
That's why you gotta go on like a big loop. Yeah,
I love to go. That's what I love about New York is having errands to run. I love to go for a walk with a destination. I had such a hard time during like peak COVID when people would just go on a walk. And I'm like, but to where?
Yeah.
I would do that. I would just walk out of the apartment and be like, I guess I'm going to go left today. And then I would just walk that way for a while and I would just end up, it was when we were living in Ridgewood. And I'd be like,
direction.
Yeah, it's
I need a destination.
One spot and then you can wiggle your way back.
Exactly.
Meander. Okay. That's fun to know.
But I don't have the imagination to just say left today.
Yeah, but I would just end up going the same like 3 places all the time. I'd just be like, I guess when I go this way, I go there. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go right today. And then I'll end up like at that weird little bridge on Metropolitan in Williamsburg, just like looking in the water for too long. And
what little bridge?
You know the one, it's like right by Pumps?
Yes.
There's that little bridge right there. I don't know why I have to use that as a
indicator. I mean, it's really there's nothing else over there.
Yeah,
it really is a bunch of warehouses and a gas station, and that one building that has a bunch of graffiti all over it, like business graffiti. Like
it's the Mural Company.
Mural Company. See, look, we figured it out so fast. Wasn't even worried. Wasn't even worried.
But yeah, that's what. And then after a while, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore, and it was just like I don't know. I just gave up, and really just sat for I would say years.
I've been sitting ever since.
Yeah.
So
gonna
fun.
test. Looking at you here.
I'm quite comfortable. Never been uncomfortable in my life.
All right, yeah. So I keep saying it. Like,
Yeah.
no one made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I'm regular.
I can do it all day and night.
Yeah.
What kind of fighting do you do?
I teach mixed martial arts, so I do like boxing and Muay Thai. I'm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I do judo and wrestling.
Okay, that's all of them.
So all of them,
That's all of
basically.
them, yeah.
All the ones that
has
work.
it ever come up in real life?
In what sense?
Like,
Have I fought somebody?
Has anyone
Yeah.
ever asked you about it ever? Has it ever come up in your regular life?
No, I've never had to put my hands on anyone, but I've had to.
you've had the confidence, and they've said that seems like someone who's been training for this moment their whole life,
To a
and I don't want to be
degree.
the one.
Yeah, to a degree. I've had a couple of situations where direct eye contact can make someone back down or make them feel like I'm
But it
not
takes
afraid.
years of training to have the confidence to do the direct eye contact.
To remain calm under that
Yeah.
moment and know how to play that socially and how to, work around it and not get like either what most guys do, get over aggressive and then they have to fist fight, or become so submissive it feels like an easy target.
Yeah,
And this fine line, I think, is what oddly enough fighting gives you the skill of.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope one day you
Okay.
get to beat somebody's
yeah.
ass.
He's gonna get a drink. Yeah. Go get it.
What do you get?
Oh, beverage.
He's
He's allowed to get drinks whenever he wants. Don't hit me. But yeah, because I break down street fights so much on my Instagram, people will like, I hope you fight somebody. It's like, why would I do that? That'd
Well,
be.
I hope you protect somebody.
Well, that's my
That's the
line.
dream.
Yeah, that's
The
my
dream is some woman is under attack, and you get to
Uh-huh.
step in.
a beautiful woman with no gag reflexes under attack. No, that's my line in my head. I think it's useful to have like rules for yourself in terms of self defense. And it's like, if someone is insulting me, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
I don't care about. Oh, you don't like my shoes? I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Does
Does that come up a lot? People hate your shoes.
No, it's just something
Yeah.
I got made fun of as a kid. But I think like if I see someone getting physically touched and pushed, then I'll make my presence known.
Yeah, because it's like physical. It's like an eye for an eye.
kind
You're
of.
not gonna hit somebody over words that you could
Yeah,
forget.
yeah. I mean, I was on the train once, and these like high school kids are like bullying this old woman kind of sitting on the chair by herself. And I kind of came into the train itself while it's happening. And like for a second, I'm like, wait, what's going on right now? And then like, I registered what was happening and I was like, hey, stop. And then like they got the tone
Yeah.
and then they apologized to me. I'm like, apologize to her. Don't do that to me.
Wow, I can't believe what bitches high school kids are, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It took almost nothing to settle them down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what most, I don't want to say all, because I think there's a problem with everyone being like, all bullies are cowards. Like, no, some bullies are assholes who are tough.
Or like even like assholes who have nothing to lose and are like have committed to the bit.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like, that's dangerous too, because you might not lose the fight, but you'll take some damage.
Yeah.
And worse.
Well, that's what I was saying about Tommy Fury, because I know that there's a lot of talk in your industry about whether or not he's a legitimate boxer. And it's like at the end of the day, if someone can punch you in the face, that sucks.
Yeah. If someone is, in my head, if you make the walk, if you go from the locker room into a ring or a cage to knowingly get into a fight, you have my respect.
Yeah.
Whether
I've never gone up to someone and said, punch me in the face.
Smart.
You know, I belonged to a boxing gym one time because I thought it was like a sexy little boxing gym. And it turned out it was like very much where men were training. And I had signed up for a month, so I had to keep going. And it was like the guy, his name was Kelly. He would always be like, what are you going to do when someone tries to hit you? And he'd always be like, your hands have to stay up. What are you going to do when someone tries to? And I was like, no one's ever going to. I was like, buddy, that's not where this is going for me ever.
I'm fine.
Once I went and all we did that day was push-ups. And I said, Kelly, this isn't the body I want. I couldn't fit into cardigans. I put on muscle really quickly.
That's right. We've talked about this. You put on muscle very fast.
Very fast.
What a hilarious problem.
It really, and I got so jacked so fast after that one thing that I was like,
Fuck. You're like a gorilla. Your stomach makes its own protein.
like literally maybe, because there is something where I will do, my current trainer will sometimes have me do like pull-ups and stuff, and I leave and it's like, you can see me.
You have a
like,
crazy,
you can
pump,
see
you have a
it.
crazy pump.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
It's
as quickly.
crazy.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
And that's not really, sometimes I'm doing, like putting my hair up in a ponytail and I get scared of my own self.
Oh.
And it will come up. Like Ashley was telling me she had friends who were like I was looking at Claire's Instagram and can I ask you a question? Is she jacked? Like they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like sometimes people will notice and be like, oh, this is clearly like a part of your life that like I just don't know about. Like,
Sure. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
endeavor of getting this body.
Yeah,
And I
you're
was
doing
like,
G.I. Jane when no one's around.
People are like, oh, what's that part of it? I'm like, you don't understand.
I
I'm
did
like
25
atrophying.
pull-ups last week, and I have the biggest, roundest shoulders you've ever seen in your entire life.
I am really like out here just being like atrophy.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
You're not moving. Like someone else will reach for the remote. I'm not good at it. The remote's too heavy. What an interesting problem. Fuck, that's wild. So many people would be like, give me that problem. Damn.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
What do you need?
How's your cardio? I mean, now it's good. You're running.
Now it's pretty solid.
Okay.
I actually, it's funny, for the first time in my life, I'm running and getting sore from running. I didn't know you could get sore from running.
Yeah.
Because I had just never pushed myself.
To that extent.
I just had never, like, it turns out all these years I had never once been on the other side of like tired when I'm such a quitter.
Yeah. You're just you're bored from running. That's sore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I when I was fighting, I convinced myself I had to run. And I was like, oh, now all my knees are just hurting and they're just in pain for weeks. And now I can't fight well. The thing I've learned this winter working with my trainer though is that like I feel whenever I had pains, I always assumed it was a tightness problem. I'm now realizing most of the time it's a strengthening problem. Yeah.
Like the amount of times that like my knee would hurt and I'm like, oh, it's because like my IT band's too tight or something. And now I'm like, oh no, if you just get stronger, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm just too tight. That's what the issue is.
I like really was like I get to get stretched. I was always like doing yoga and being like, I can't yoga away this pain. It never occurred to me that I needed to be like lifting.
Yeah,
because you never see like there's like I go to a gym where there's a decent amount of like really huge dudes that I've never seen them once use a foam roller or maybe like a band, like a resistance band to like stretch out in between sets, but they're not like on the floor like contorting themselves or hitting the foam roller too hard. And I'm just like,
those guys do look like they're gonna fucking snap though.
They do look really tight.
Like I wouldn't want to like be like, look over there and watch them real quick try to be dynamic. You guys watch Physical 100?
I watched a couple episodes.
A
couple episodes.
I loved that show.
Do they get voted on? I can't remember. Like you lose and you leave, or okay.
And then there's like team competition stuff, but there's such a culture of like respect. There's so much like respectful kindness, and there's also they like really respect homegrown muscles. So like when people would have weird jobs like mountaineer, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I remember they loved the firefighter guy.
And they love firefighters. They really look down on CrossFit builds. Like if you're somebody who got jacked because you like went to the gym and got jacked, they're like fucking pathetic.
So funny.
Idiot. Do something useful with your time.
Like, yeah. But you would never, there were these guys that were like, my job is to rescue people who like get stuck skiing by like climbing ropes up mountains and then putting them on my back and climbing the rope back down. You're like, damn, you must be jacked.
That's awesome.
But there is like a real difference in between the like size of your muscles and your like level of strength, where it's like you see a guy who's like, he's just like a big guy because he's like 55 years old and has been a steel worker his entire life, versus like a guy who goes to the gym and like does math and science to figure out exactly how to grow his muscle as big as possible. And can I say
the functional use of your muscles was very important. Like they did a good job on this show. So what I was thinking about in terms of like dynamic is one of the challenges at the end was like basically like that game Othello where you have to like flip over discs on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And the problem was the bodybuilders to get down and up. They were like pugs. You know what I mean? They couldn't fucking breathe.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't reach the ground, and it was almost hard to. You're almost like, I don't like watching this man be so. Like I was rooting like, and then meanwhile the teeny people who were so quick and agile.
Yeah.
Like it had nothing to do with strength. That had to do with agility, and it was just interesting. Or even just holding yourself up.
Holding yourself. It's like, insanely difficult.
You look at kids on a monkey bar and you're like, actually, you're the strongest person in the world.
Yeah. They're little monkeys.
And just because you're jacked, like the more you weigh, the harder it is.
It is. And it's especially because the limiting factor is grip strength, which is like a tough one for every person. So it's just like, it's just, I think, way harder than people think, especially because of watching like any kind of like action movie where someone's holding on by just like the lip of something for like an hour.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I think I'm only vaguely confident I could do monkey bars now.
Yeah.
Like a little bit. No part of my life before that was I ever like, I have the upper body strength to do the monkey bars.
No, it's
when I was a kid, I'd be like, man, I'm really having fun watching you guys do those. You guys are crazy up there. Anyway, see you later.
I was amazing at monkey bars as a kid, and I would like kick boys' ass. I was really like, and then I was doing gymnastics, so I could do like bar tricks and shit. I was really, and I look back, I was like, wow, that was really hard.
It was hard. I remember what's the like the parallel bars at play
Oh my God.
at public school playgrounds. I remember looking and be like, I don't know what this is for. I have no idea what this is for. Everyone would kind of hold themselves up for like 2 seconds.
Well,
Yeah.
nothing's funnier than watching like men's gymnastics and being like, pummel horse. How hard could that be?
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Yeah.
You just like whip yourself really fast.
Yeah. Oh, that just died.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God, and look at
awful.
it flip itself around.
That's all right.
Little R2D2 thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll end
that's
on
cute.
some whatever. Let's end with the energy drink corner.
Cool. All right.
Let's do that.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Energy Drink Corner. We got a special import today from the
I'm
beautiful...
gonna get the tripod just do it on my phone.
Okay. Should I wait then? Okay, fine. Cool. From the beautiful country of Australia. We have somebody, Riley. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Sent us this is one of my favorite energy drink companies. It's called Mother.
I love that.
It's from Australia.
I wonder what I
beautiful.
drank last time I was here.
I don't know. Probably.
If anyone wants to search the archives.
Yeah, if anyone's still doing the fucking spreadsheet, there was a spreadsheet of all the drinks we did for a while, but do we have to read there's a poem on here. Under the stars of the Southern Cross, we live life our way. Life is in perpetual motion, and to slow down is to be left in the dust. The infinite bounds of sunburnt land and barreling blue swells are limited only by your imagination. Kick out the sand, pump up the tunes, and rip into some Mother. Crisp and cool with a kaleidoscope blend of flavors, it'll keep fast time spinning morning, noon, and night. Mother is calling. Pursue your dreams, search for adventure. Get out there and let the good times flow. The logo always seems vaguely racist to me, though, the font that they use.
Against which race?
It seems like Nazi adjacent, like
To
font.
me, it looks just goth.
To
To me, it
yeah.
gives just goth.
It's just like it's like a Godsmack t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
I'm away.
But this is the rainbow sherbet
Oh,
flavor.
Sherby.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Do you drink any energy drinks ever? Is that something part of your
No, just
regimen?
coffee, really.
Coffee, really? Okay. Out
Um,
of your fancy machine.
yeah. Well, I don't actually use it. I get coffee on the road.
Oh wow. Okay. So you have is it for your husband?
It was a gift.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I respect that.
It was from and kind of for my in-laws. So when they come, they get their nice coffee.
That's so smart. Yeah, that's a real veteran move.
Thank you.
Give me with a hit.
Wow. Can I say it smells so much like sherbet?
You can say that.
Thank you.
That's allowed.
Can I say a second thing?
Please, I insist.
It's really sherbety.
It's very sherbety.
it's quite sherbety.
That is quite
it's way
sherbety.
it's way pinker than I thought it was going to be too in the cup.
I'm allowed to take
It's
a
a
sip.
bright
I don't
pink.
have to.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
cheers.
No. Oh, yeah, cheers. Hey, friendship.
Cheers.
Friendship in the art
Yeah.
podcasting.
Oh, I love that.
That's real nice.
Oh, it's
It tastes
really
exactly
good.
like if sherbet was sweeter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
Yeah.
good. It's because it's full sugar.
Oh, it's a full sugar mother.
This is a full
Can I
sugar.
tell you something this tastes like? If a Nerds gummy cluster
Yeah.
was sherbet flavored,
That's a good point.
but
That's-
then was liquidated. It has that Nerdsy taste.
There's nothing I desire to try. There's because they're not Nerds gummy clusters aren't vegan,
Ooh.
and I'm like every time I see a bag, I go like, what's one bag between?
What's one
A man
bag?
and
No
his
biggie. I'm not
morals.
hurting anybody except for whatever.
But it's
Who
really
This
gets
is
start
nice.
horses?
Say again?
Who's in there? Horses?
Yeah, horses.
Yeah,
Horse
a
bones.
lot of horse bones in there.
Well,
And I'm not even a fan of horses. I don't like them.
them.
I respect it.
put
I
them out of their
forget about
misery.
it.
They're working and
I mean,
they're sad.
Yeah.
Okay, how many sips of this do you guys normally take?
As
Depends
much
how
as-
much you like it. I mean, he
Yeah.
usually likes to hold on to the can.
I mean, I
I'll-
loved it. I feel satiated.
Okay, wow. So
I think I had a good two sips.
two sips.
2 sip. Okay, this says limit daily intake to 1 can. Yeah, right.
Man, what's the caffeine intake on this bad boy?
150.
Oh, that's
What's
quite
that
manageable.
compared to like a Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola's 80?
80 something, like 85.
Oh,
Yeah, this
So
is
this
like
is two
2
Cokes.
cups of coffee, basically. 2 cups of coffee.
but then tons of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah.
How much sugar is in here?
87.
67 and a half grams.
Jeez.
And what % of your daily intake should that be?
I'd say for 200% probably.
It's pretty high.
They're not giving you the percentage. I mean, they have a different.
Man, this is nice. Fuck.
This is really nice.
Okay, I'm kind of hitting like
Yeah, I see your face.
it was. I had
You're getting-
just enough with those 2 sips.
Yeah.
That third sip,
Fair enough.
You're getting sherbet fatigue.
Yeah, pop it right. You put it down.
it's almost. But I can't.
Yeah,
I
you
kind of
can.
want to see if I can get back to where I started with it.
Well, this is the same issue you're having with running. You got to push through. You got to build
Yeah,
that
I
mental,
gotta-
mental
Yes.
strength.
I wonder if I like plugged my nose just to like cut off some of the senses, just to give my
It's
my
fair.
body a break.
Yeah,
you know?
because this is basically medicine.
Yeah.
So you just hold your nose and chug it, and then you're good.
Mm-hmm. Since it's full sugar, well,
Okay, it's hitting me in the back of the throat in a way that's like actually activating a gag reflex.
oh, okay.
No, but like it's good.
It's good.
It's just, a little goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like if cotton candy was like wet and distilled down into a cup.
Yeah.
You'd go, ooh, that's good, but you can't have a handful of frosting.
It's like
No,
drinking
it's
a
too
whole
much.
cup of au jus. You're like,
Yeah.
the flavor is too concentrated here. This is for dipping, not
once
for,
again,
for
Yes.
chugging.
too strong.
I like it, but it is. I think I have like because when I was going to Australia a bunch, I would drink like the full sugar one of these like nothing. But now I think I have like since I've switched to zero sugar stuff, I think this makes me feel insane.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like
I feel it on my
thick.
tongue
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
My
it has
tongue,
like that back of the throat, almost like not like burning, but it's like
no, but it's
I'm being
something else
activated.
where your body is going, this isn't of God, this isn't of
Yeah.
We like this, but please be careful.
Yeah.
So we rate them 0 to 5 lightning bolts. 0, you hate it. 5, you like it so much you'll order it online for yourself. I won't drink. I don't buy myself ever any full sugar energy drinks anymore.
Yeah.
It does taste nice, but yeah, I think we're all on the same page where it's like it's a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
Not crushable.
No, you'd have to really ration this.
You really have to take your time.
You could
with
not
it.
put this in a helmet.
I'm gonna go 3.85.
Whoa.
That's where I'm going.
I'm going 2
Fair.
Dude.
because I just think the fact that I can only have 2 sips. I don't like if the fifth one, if 5 lightning bolts is I'm going to go online and buy it for myself. I'm not going to do that. If I came across it in a bodega, would I buy it for myself? Wouldn't do that. If my friend had one, would I ask for a sip? I don't think so. I do believe that in a year and a half from now, I'm going to wake up one night and be like, what am I craving? And I'm going to be like,
What is?
Yeah. It's in your DNA.
I want
Rainbow Sherbet Brothers in
a
your DNA.
saucer of it and to lap it once like a cat. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, and you could sell that video for a lot of money.
I
People would
listen,
really like that.
If anybody is interested in that, I would sell that to
Yeah,
you tomorrow.
why not?
DM me privately if you're
Yeah.
interested in watching me lap up.
An energy drink from Australia specifically.
Yeah.
It's a very distinctive kink, I would say.
Mhm.
Very specific. Like you've really honed that down.
I would actually do an energy drink from anywhere.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, Claire's just
no country forbidden.
Claire's gonna get a DM, and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, that episode didn't go out yet."
Yeah.
It's just from my burner account.
Yeah,
like-
definitely
Would
not
you
Diego.
even do Japan? Could I pick the saucer?
Oh wait, my
amazing.
rating.
Yeah, give your.
So I like it a lot, but it is not. I would not buying it again just because it's full sugar. I'm gonna go 3.99
Okay.
because if it's a 4, because I'm not buying it if I
'Cause
see
you're
it in the
not buying
store.
it.
But it is good. I do like it.
Okay.
My chest hurts a little bit now. I
I
will say
feel it
that. I-
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel it
I
moving
can feel
through
it
my
right
body.
here
Yeah.
in my forehead, and I can feel it coming to my stomach, and I can feel my stomach almost like it's like a Trojan horse, and I can feel my stomach be like, put up the wall!
Yeah, it's like
No.
getting ready. But now I bet you're gonna have one of the greatest workouts of your entire life.
I hope so.
It's gonna fuel you. It's gonna fuel you, and you're gonna hit that wall, and you're like, no, I have it inside.
I have it
have
in
it.
me.
I have
It was
I
in
have
me.
it here and here.
I have
Yeah.
the energy
You're
of
my
the
stomach.
Southern Cross or whatever they fucking
Whatever
talk
weird
about.
fucking shit they say.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna like collapse.
Yeah. You're falling asleep and your trainer's like,
I developed diabetes today.
Today's the day.
At 4:30.
A beautiful day to get it.
your trainer's trying to be like, wake up. I'm talking too quiet.
Yeah.
hey, wake up. Can you wake up?
He's being even quieter.
Yeah.
That's fucking perfect. Claire, thank you so much for coming to do the
For
pod.
having
We
me.
appreciate
Yeah,
you so
this
much.
was awesome.
Where can people follow you? Listen to your podcast. Go see
They
you on
could
tour.
follow me at Claire the Scare. They can listen to my podcast, Celebrity Memoir Book Club. We're going to London and Dublin. So if there's
Oh,
anybody
nice.
in there that wants to watch me live lap up energy drinks,
Yeah.
I will do London and Dublin.
If we have any
specific.
crossover audience, for the love of God, that's very funny. Go
Yeah.
do that, or tell her, give her a heads up. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Don't make her do it.
Don't make-
but
you can't
No,
make her
I'd
do
love
anything.
to buy me do it.
Make a reference to it.
Buy me to do
Yeah,
it.
Buy her do it.
Buy me to do it. Beautiful. Follow Micah Brucey at Micah Brucey.
Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/a-little-time-pod for 4 bonus episodes a month, pardon me.
Yeah, we.
And we love you, and
Yep.
we'll talk to you soon.
Texas, Australia, some other places soon. All right, bye.